The night was draped in shadows as the rain tapped softly against the windowpane of my small apartment in downtown Chicago. I stood there, staring out at the city lights, my fingers trembling around a half-finished glass of red wine. My reflection stared back at me in the window, dark eyes rimmed with secrets I'd carried far too long. Everything in me was a storm. I knew I had to tell him tonight. No matter how it broke him, how it might change the way he looked at me forever. His name was Ethan Carter. Strong, driven, devastatingly handsome with sandy hair and those gray-blue eyes that saw more than I wanted anyone to see. He walked into my life like a whisper at first, quiet, thoughtful, with a calmness I mistook for weakness. But Ethan was anything but weak. He was a man who stood by his word, who meant every vow he ever made. And somehow, against every warning I gave, every wall I built, he still found his way to my heart. He was supposed to arrive any minute now. We'd agreed on dinner, something simple. But it was never simple with Ethan. He made the world feel too soft, too kind for someone like me. I used to think I didn't deserve a love like his. Maybe I still didn't. The things I had done no one had ever truly known. My past was a lockbox with rusted chains. But tonight I was ready to open it. When the doorbell rang, I took a deep breath. My hands were cold as I opened the door, and there he was, Ethan, in a leather jacket, raindrops still clinging to his shoulders, his smile easing some of the tension that had coiled in my spine. "Hey, baby," he said, leaning in and kissing my cheek. "You look stunning." I tried to smile, but it faltered. "Come in." I poured wine. He stepped inside, the smell of his cologne a mix of spice and warmth. I handed him his glass, and for a few seconds we stood in silence. The flickering candle on the table was the only light in the room. It cast golden shadows across his face. He looked like a dream I didn't deserve. "I need to tell you something," I said finally, voice thin. His brows furrowed. "Okay." I swallowed hard, forcing the words out like knives. "I'm not who you think I am, Ethan. I haven't always been this girl. I've lied. I've manipulated. I've hurt people. I've done things I'm not proud of. Things that could ruin everything. I was a very bad girl for a long time. And you deserve to know." He didn't flinch. Didn't say a word. My throat tightened. I stood there, almost daring him to leave. But he set his glass down, stepped forward, and cupped my face with both hands. His voice, deep and steady, washed over me. "I love you. With all my heart. I don't care about what you did before. Everyone has a past, Riley. Even if you were bad, I still want to marry you." My knees nearly gave out. "You? What?" I said, "I want to marry you." "But why? You don't even know everything." "Then tell me. Tell me everything." "I'm not going anywhere." I pulled away and turned my back to him. The truth was choking me. 3 years ago, I began, I worked for a man named Conrad Black. A tech millionaire, controlling, arrogant. I was his assistant, no, more like his pawn. He used me to seduce clients, to get them drunk, to slip them information or make them talk. And I did it willingly, because I thought I was making a name for myself. Ethan's voice was quiet. "Did he hurt you?" "Not physically," I said, glancing over my shoulder. "But mentally, emotionally, yes. I thought I was powerful, but I was just a weapon. And when I found out Conrad was embezzling millions from his own investors, I tried to report it. But he turned it on me. Planted evidence. I was nearly arrested. I ran." "Ran?" Ethan asked softly. "To Chicago. Changed my name. I used to be Claire Morgan. I buried her and became Riley Summers. I built a new life. Tried to be good again." He stepped closer. "And you have been. Riley, everything you've told me only proves how strong you are." "But I lied to you," I said. "About everything. My name, my job history, everything." He traced his thumb along my jaw. "You're telling me now. That's what matters." Tears spilled down my cheeks. He kissed them away. Later that night, after dinner had cooled on the plates and the candles had burned low, he pulled me into his lap on the couch. His hands trailed down my back, anchoring me to reality and yet making me feel like I was floating. He leaned in, brushing his lips against mine. Not demanding, just there. I melted into him. His mouth was warm, sure, as it moved against mine. One hand tangled in my hair, the other slipped under my shirt, fingers tracing fire along my spine. "I've wanted you from the moment I saw you," he whispered. "But now, I want all of you, even the parts you're scared to show." My heart thumped wildly. "You're not scared of me?" "I'm scared of losing you," he said, pressing his forehead against mine. The next few minutes blurred into breathless moments. His shirt came off, revealing skin I'd traced in dreams. I kissed the curve of his collarbone, the warmth of his chest. He unbuttoned my blouse with a tenderness that made my throat ache. Every touch from Ethan was electric, patient but hot, desperate yet reverent. His hands explored me like he was learning a language, his mouth creating stories on my skin. I clung to him, my doubts fading beneath every sigh, every whisper of his name. But just as our bodies melted into each other, a crash came from the front door. A loud bang. We both froze. Ethan stood quickly, grabbing his jeans and moving to the door cautiously. "Who's there?" he called out. I stood, pulling a blanket around me, my heart racing. A voice echoed from the hallway. "Claire Morgan, we know you're in there. Come out now." My blood ran cold. It was the FBI. Ethan turned to me, his eyes wide. "You told me you ran. You never cleared your name." "I tried," I whispered. "I thought I had more time." Panic surged. I looked at Ethan, and I expected fear or anger. But all I saw was resolve. He opened the door slowly, stepping out. "She's innocent," he said to the agents. "You've got it all wrong." I followed, my hands raised. "Please. I'll come. Just don't hurt him." They arrested me, took me downtown. My past had finally caught up. I didn't fight it. I thought it was the end. But Ethan showed up the next morning with a lawyer. A good one. And evidence, emails I thought were deleted, voice recordings, video files. Ethan had been digging into my past ever since I first told him the name Conrad Black. He never told me, but he had been working behind the scenes to find a way to help me. In court, it all unraveled. The truth came out. Conrad Black was arrested, and all charges against me were dropped. I walked out free, but shaken. Ethan was waiting outside, holding a single white rose. "You did all that for me?" I asked, tears streaming down my face. He smiled. "You think I was going to let the woman I love go down for something she tried to stop?" "I don't deserve you," I whispered. He stepped close, wrapping his arms around me. "You deserve everything good in this world. And I'm going to give it to you. Starting with this." He got down on one knee. The world stilled. "Marry me, Riley. Bad girl or not. You are my everything." I laughed through my tears and nodded. Yes, 1,000 times yes. We kissed as the city spun around us, my heart finally free from the chains of my past. Ethan hadn't just loved the version of me I tried to create. He had loved the broken, the scarred, the real me. And in doing so, he gave me a second chance at life. And I wasn't going to waste it. Not with a love like his. Not ever again. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment.